Hi everyone, how are you, you beautiful people? Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my wife and other stuff. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So why am I going to talk about my wife? Well, the reason I'm going to talk about my wife is that we've been together now for 19 years. And in that time, she has asked me so many questions, so many brilliant questions. She's a great therapist without even knowing it. She's asked me so many questions that she's helped me to kind of put into order the shit mess that my life was. She's helped me to order it and put it into some kind of understanding. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you about the question that she just asked me this weekend while we went to celebrate our 10th wedding anniversary, and we went away, and in the car, as usual, she was asking me questions. And she said to me, how much of your life now do you spend doing things not because you want to do them, but doing things because of other people? Yeah. And it was a lovely question, because as I thought about it and I looked at my life and I asked myself, how much do I do? Basically, she was saying, doing things that you really do, you wouldn't do otherwise if it were not for some other people. Yeah? So I thought about it and I thought, wow, I was really pleased to think that actually I do a very small amount of things that I don't want to do for other people. Okay, and I'm not talking about the drudgery of the stuff that we have to do. I'm talking about acts that we do for other people. Now, hark back to when I was a people pleaser, and when I was, when I was going through all of this shit in my life, the first half of my life before I actually changed and became me. I didn't change, I became me, I discovered who I was. I used to do the vast majority of things for other people without necessarily enjoying them. But because I wanted to have the approval, the respect, the admiration, call it what you will, of other people. That's what I wanted. And so, like all good people pleasers, I did everything. I wanted to be the funniest. I wanted to be the liveliest in the group. I wanted all the attention. I wanted people to like me. And when people didn't like me, man, I used to be so upset. And now I think about it, and I think about my life, and I think, well, first of all, one of the greatest lessons that I learned, okay, a beautiful lesson that I learned was this. And this is, I repeat this in my therapies with people. And I know at the time the struggle to take that on board, but I tell them anyway because I know it'll serve them in later life, as it did me. And all I say is, this is what I learned, that the opinion of other people isn't worth shit. Right? Now, that sounds a bit tough, but it's not. It's really not. First of all, we know that the opinion of lots of people isn't worth shit, and I think we can all resonate with that. But even the opinion of people who you admire, the opinion of people who are very close to you, isn't worth shit. Now, I know that sounds tough, but what I'm really saying is that, what I've really learned is that the opinion that people hold about us really isn't about us. The famous saying, what Peter thinks about Paul says more about Peter than it ever does about Paul. Why? Well, because people are always looking for reinforcement of their own beliefs, values, etc. People are always looking for somebody who reflects their top values. And when they find somebody who reflects the top values, they like them. They really like them. But when people find people who don't reflect their top values, they don't really like them. They go, I don't really like that person. And so the people who tell you good things about who you are, they're telling you good things because you are reflecting back to them who they are. And when people tell you bad things, it's because you are reflecting back to them what they're not. Okay? So And look, I'm not talking about when you do something horrible to somebody and then they say that was horrible. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people liking to spend time with you or not liking to spend time with you, or wanting to be your friend or not wanting to be your friend. So the other thing that I learned was that when people are telling you nice things, okay, they're telling you nice things because they're in a nice place, right? There's nothing wrong with people telling you nice things. I tell people nice things all of the time, right? Because I want people to hear them. The difference that personally for myself was before, when people told me nice things, I soaked them up, I drank them down, I washed myself in them, and I reveled in those. But what happened was, when nice comments come, you're feeling nice. And then when nasty comments come, then of course you have no choice than to feel nasty. Because if you begin to rely on nice comments, therefore nasty comments can hurt you a lot. Yeah. So, what I learned was that somebody's having a good day. You've just done something that resonates with their values, their core values. Yeah. And they say, do you know what? I really like you as a person. Yeah. They're having a good day. Right. And then you catch them, they've had a shit day. They've been in a traffic jam for half an hour. The boss has just chewed the ear off. Right? And then you see them, they go, right? Now, that's because they're having a bad day. If you are reliant on their comments, if you are reliant on what they tell you, that can really hurt you. Okay? Whereas, if their comments you don't take them in. Let me say that. So somebody gives you a really nice comment. Do you know something? I really like you. I like who you are. Now, let me tell you how I handle that now compared to how I used to handle it. Somebody would say, I really like you, Gordon. And I would go, they like me. Oh, it's so lovely. Yeah. Now somebody tells me, Gordon, I really like you. And I think, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Okay? That's exactly what I feel. That's what goes through me. I get this feeling of, oh, isn't that nice? Okay? But what it doesn't do, their comment doesn't define who I am. Right? It doesn't define who I am. It used to. It used to define me. I used to think, what did I do, first of all? What did I do to make this person like me? I'm going to do more of that. And what happened was, I was on this hamster wheel where I was doing things that I didn't want to do to get a reaction that I needed. It was a drug. Yeah. And so I prostituted myself. I went around prostituting myself. I was not being true to myself. I wasn't being the authentic person that I'm getting to now, which is, I'm okay with being who I am. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Whereas I wasn't okay because I needed the approval. I needed the positive feedback from the person. Yeah. So I was a slave. And it was hard work. Let me tell you, it was hard work. I was worn out. By the time I got to 40, I was fucking tired. I really was. Tired of working to get the approval of people. And it was so, and what the awful thing is, remember that you've got a bucket inside, a bucket of approval. It's got a big hole in the bottom. And no matter how full it gets, it's gone. And you wake up in the morning and you think, oh my God, I don't feel good anymore. I need to get some more approval. I'm going to have to be extra better. Like Boxer in Animal Farm, I will work even harder. Yeah? That's where I was. It was awful. So, now, I give compliments to people, not to boost up the ego. It's not for the ego. Unfortunately, the ego's there, and if people haven't got it in control, then it drinks that down. Oh, Gordon likes me. I feel so much better now that Gordon likes me. And then when Gordon doesn't like you, when Gordon's angry at you, when he's upset, when he's having a shit day and he pulls an awful face, what happens? All of that disappears. Yeah. So going back to the question that my wife asked me, do you feel that you do things in your life that you don't want to do for other people? And I thought, the way that it used to be, no. But yes, I still do stuff. I still do stuff. Like, I will do something, I'll make an extra effort because I know that that other person is going to appreciate it and it's going to make them feel a certain way. If it wasn't for the person, I wouldn't do it. But I do. Okay? I don't think that that's a bad thing. That isn't... I'm not seeking their approval. I'm doing that what Anthony DeMello talks about, which is this: I do something nice to you, and I get something nice back. Okay, and that's the ultimately we're all selfish. We do everything for selfish reasons, which is we're nice to people so that we feel good about being nice to people. Yeah, so we get something. The first thing that's most important is the getting. All right, it's a win-win. That person wins because they feel good, and you feel good because they feel good. Yeah, that's very, very different to doing something nice so they can tell you something nice so that you feel good about yourself, because you normally don't. You feel shitty. Yeah. So the first version of doing something nice because you know it's going to make you feel good, that's high level selfishness. Okay. High level selfishness. But Anthony DeMello talks about low level selfishness, which is when we do things so that we don't feel even worse. Yeah. It's not a good place to be in. Not a good place to be in. We do things so that we feel better. Yeah. But we're actually feeding our soul. We're not feeding our ego. They're very, very different things. The ego is very short-lived. The feeling of, where I am the dog's bollocks. Oh, I feel bad now. Yeah. No. When you are in a place where you're authentic, then what you're doing is you're polishing your soul by doing nice things. Yeah. That's how I see it. Anyway, that's just my take on it. So it was nice, that question that she asked me. I was able to reflect on the difference between, because I believe I was given a second opportunity. Thank God for that. I was given the second chance to sort my shit out and to live a proper life. Yeah. The first one was, God only knows what was going on there. Disaster. Contracts being worked through. Lessons being learned. Second half of life, actually being able to be authentic and be who I am. Be the real person. Because you don't have to become anybody. It's not a journey of becoming. It's a journey of discovering. A journey of discovery. Discovering really who you are and then celebrating it. So where are you on your journey of discovery? Are you still reliant on people's feedback? Does people's feedback make you happy and then sad, depending on what it is? Remember, people's opinion isn't worth shit. Especially people's opinion of you isn't worth shit. And that's because if they're giving you an opinion, they're actually opinionating about themselves. That's all. It's not about you. Obviously, if you're a really bad person and people are constantly telling you that you're a bad person, you need to sort that shit out. Yeah. But, generally, I mean, where I am now, it's very rare that somebody says something to me that they misunderstand who I am. It's very rare, but it does happen. Every now and again, I have a comment from people on the videos. Like, he looks like a child molester. Had that. I think, really? It's because of the little beard thing that I had. I took it off because my auntie asked me to take it off. But I was thinking, really, you think that? You see, that comment says more about that person than it does about me. All right? Why on earth are they saying that? That's their issue to resolve. Yeah. So, where are you on your journey? If you're at a place where you feel good enough about who you are and happy about who you are, that comments, really, you listen to them, because some comments, we're always being given good lessons and messages. Listen to the comments people give you, but don't take them to heart. Don't let them spoil your day. Yeah. But when you get to that place, it doesn't really happen anyway. Normally, what I find, I mean, in the first half of my life, ooh, I used to have some negative comments. Oh my God, and now deservedly so, because they were reflecting back to me what I thought about me as well. I didn't like who I was. Okay, now I like who I am. I love who I am. Why not? I'm all I've got. Why shouldn't I like who I am? It's the same for you. Love who you are. Yeah. That famous song. If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. Love you. You're the one you're always with. Yeah. Love yourself. You're beautiful. You are beautiful. If you've got stuff to fix, fix it. Fix it. You're not broken. You are not broken. Trust me. You came into this world a beautiful diamond. You are not broken. They're just bits and pieces that need buffing out. You know, that'll buff out. Yeah? Even the worst thing that looks like a massive, wipeout, it'll buff out if you work at it. So get buffing, kids. Let's get buffing. Let's sort ourselves out. We've got a beautiful place to go to. Let's go all shiny and nice. Yeah? I love you all. See you all later. Bye-bye.